Hello everybody, my name is DVG and welcome back to the channel. And just last night I got out of the theater for I guess the second time watching the new Supergirl movie. I had actually finished it this time. Um, I just watched the new Supergirl movie and I actually made the review like last night. Had an 8-minute review, just single take. But something like happened with the audio and it's just 8 minutes of silence. So, here I am again to try and remember what I said. Um, New Supergirl movie. Um, it's it's very fun to say the least. Going into it, the reviews, it's like with the because mixed reviews. It's like everything that the bad reviews say and the reviewers are saying bad about it are mostly right. They're not really lying there. You know, it's just it can be a lot of fun sometimes, and it's a movie that if you just go into it with your expectations set at the right place, not like necessarily low expectations, saying to yourself it's going to be a shit movie, because then you'd be lying, because it's not. If you just go into it, um, more or less thinking that, if you go into it just thinking for just a casual good time, something that kind of complements the first Superman movie kind of well, then you're gonna get it. You're gonna get some great backstory stuff with Supergirl with Kara, which is the one thing that we kind of needed for this. We needed to show her upbringing and Krypton. It's not really Krypton, but pretty close to Krypton. Show her upbringing and why she is different from Superman. Why she does spend all of her time going to red sun planets, and why she's maybe a little more tough than like Superman might be on his opponents sometimes. But um, I mean, guys, speaking on Superman, I love every time he was on the screen. He was did several like video calls with Kara, like asking when she was going to come back to Earth, because she's always on going to red sun planets, things like that. And then there's a flashback scene where he was essentially meeting her right as she crash landed, where she didn't even speak English yet. Um, and then at the very end of the movie, Superman's in it again. So his scenes were, it's not like he was doing anything. He was just there in the suit, dialogue, you know. But those scenes were so cool, and like makes you more excited for something like Man of Tomorrow, the new Superman movie coming out next year. Um, yeah, for Supergirl, action is on point. It has, the story is easy enough to follow. Um, just save crypto, get revenge, things like that. One dude, basically, kind of that's the whole thing. Um, do I think it's better than Superman? Because these movies are going to get compared. Because this is the second one, and they are connected because they're. But Superman versus Supergirl, which film is the preferable choice? I'd say they're both decent picks. Superman will be a little higher up for me, and probably many others. Because even Supergirl, this film took some things from the Superman movie from last year, um, and kind of worked it into their own, which isn't a bad thing. It's just there is influence there, like some of the slow motion fighting scenes where in the first Superman, Lois is essentially like in this force field, and she's just essentially slow mo while this like happy type song is playing, and Supergirl or the superheroes just taking out all the enemies around them so effortlessly. The same thing. This pretty much the same exact thing was done in this in Supergirl, and that's just one example where they they kind of pick off each other a little bit, and yeah. Um, but no, this film is very, rewatchable. It's not bad by any means. Um, I feel like I respect what the DC and James Gunn are doing with essentially taking this a little, like, um, taking a film at a time rather than just greenlighting a million things and releasing 2, 3 films a year. Um, but yeah, no, this Supergirl 2026. Um, it makes you kind of hope that there's a sequel because it's one of those movies. The way it ends, it's like, okay, that was awesome. Now we're at where we need to be in this character story. Now we need to see what's next. Kind of like in Spider-Man No Way Home, how in that movie ended, it was Peter in his apartment. His apartment. He made his own suit. He's broke, and he's out in New York now. Like essentially where he should be. That's where people want to see him. Broke in his 20s or whatever, homemade suit, things like that. That's what they want to see him. That's how that movie ended. People want to see what happens after that. Same thing with Supergirl. People are going to want to see what happens now. We want to see her, get like, fight crime in Metropolis and things like that, and team up with Superman. See how that goes. But yeah, no, I for Letterbox, I put it as like a 3.5 star review, and I probably still stand by that from yesterday. Um, but yeah, I'll do it.